Blogging for a career can be totally amazing. I love the freedom that it gives. I love that I have control over my income. I love so much about it, but sometimes it also just kind of sucks. Okay, so recently we did a poll here on YouTube. We asked you, what things do you do to make blogging fun? And 39% of you said, it isn't.
Nothing about it is
It's
fun.
drudgery. I don't like this. And that is a little bit concerning to me. And I can kind of understand it because I think most of you are probably at a time in your web creation, your website creation journey, your blogging journey, where there isn't a real tangible result yet. But we want to talk about some of the things about blogging that can be really frustrating.
And to be completely honest, like, we love blogging. We love internet marketing, but even sometimes for us,
We feel the
it's
same way.
tough. We feel the same way. There are moments in our projects and our blogs and our sites that just feel like, is this even worth it? Are we even going to make this work at all? So we
Exactly.
totally get it. And some of the comments you guys left
Pretty good,
are
yeah.
so good, we just have to read it.
Yeah, so, the first thing I got to say about blogging that is really hard is the content creation.
Yes.
Which is like what blogging is.
That's
right?
the bread and butter of blogging.
So this comment just totally highlights it, though. It's perfect. From ZM. I don't enjoy creating content. Any tips on how to make this crucial aspect of blogging more fun?
Oh.
It's kind of like saying, I'm a barber, but I hate cutting hair. What can I do to enjoy
Yeah.
my career more?
And I don't mean to laugh. I think that this is a very serious question.
Totally.
And I think part of the reason I laugh is because I kind of get that question.
Yeah.
But really, there are some things that we can do to make the content creation a little bit better. I think for me, the first thing is with the research. The research process is really going to lay the foundation for the rest of your post. And so if you do really good research, the post is actually really easy. Getting out and actually doing some interactive research, whether you're in a Facebook group asking questions, doing a poll on a Reddit forum, or if you have a product that you can actually go test, that is way more exciting than reading Amazon reviews and just desperately trying to come up with a blog post.
One of the poll responses that I had in this poll was, I make sure I often do something fun as research in my niche. And I said it that way because, like, if you pick a niche you love, then you can actually go, like, do the thing you love and have that actually be research. Take notes, take photos, etc. You end up with better blog content.
Right.
You end up with articles that are easy to write. It's just better overall.
You
and it's
did
more
one
enjoyable.
with pocket knives. You did a test on pocket knives. Well, how much more fun was it to actually touch the pocket knives? And Ricky tested us all. He was like, well, can you tell which one's the most expensive? So we all did our best to guess. And that was actually fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you came up with some data, some really good data that was just pulled from us here in the office. And I mean, I'm not the one who made the content, but I can imagine that was a lot better for you than just looking at Amazon.
Now, to be fair, that was mostly for a video. I did start an article about that, and then we were putting it on a site that we ended up not building up. So I have a half-written article about pocket knives that we'll have to use someday. But yes, it was a lot more fun. And I have all this information in my head now, because as I was doing research for that, I was doing research on which ones to buy. And then I bought a few of them. And then I was, doing research on the different metals that are used in the blades. And I know so much information now about them. I could go write 6 articles without having to do another piece of research. When you're getting started, we say you need to write a lot of content. You need to be writing every single day. Get something published all the time. But sometimes you need to do that type of research, 1, to make it enjoyable, and 2, to make the content really good. And I don't think that has to slow you down overall. I think what it does, though, sometimes is puts off the writing a few extra days. And in the end, it took me the same amount of time and my content's better.
You really have to find what you enjoy about the process.
Yeah.
You're probably either going to like the business building aspect, or you're just really going to be in love with your niche. If you're in love with neither, I think that's where a lot of the problem comes. Now, it could definitely be the factor of just where you are in the process,
Right.
Because there are definitely some slower parts of the process. But if you don't love one or the other, you might be up for a change. Now, I'm going to say something a little controversial here. Guys, don't click off the video. It's YouTube. So just let me explain myself here. So I got my parents to start a blog on a topic that they enjoyed. They didn't love the writing. They had a hard time just really getting into the writing. So I said, well, why don't you just try video? Well, it turns out they actually really like making the videos. They enjoy doing the projects and showing people what they're doing. And they're well on their way to a successful channel. And so for them, it made all the difference. I don't think it may be for everybody, but if you're really in a hard spot, it might be worth a try.
You may currently think there's no way. I'm afraid of that. I don't want to be on camera, etc. Or just I don't know how to do it well. But it might be worth giving it a try. If it's something that you're wanting to even consider, go check out the Channel Makers YouTube channel. Nate just does such a really good job of teaching how to do YouTube really successfully, and that'll speed up that process for you.
Next thing is getting traffic. This one I think is the slower part of the process when you're building a website. It can take 8 to 12 months to get any amount of traffic at all to the point where that's kind of where your blog levels off. 8 to 12 months to delay any sort of monetization or any sort of feeling of success is a really long time.
If kids can't like not eat a marshmallow in front of them for like 1 minute, then what makes us think that we can successfully delay the reward for the work we're doing for 8 to 12 months? And yet that's what we're saying that it's probably going to take. So I think a couple things to do there is, one, we need to know that the financial reward isn't coming immediately. And so therefore we need to have milestones that in and of themselves maybe are the reward, right? So if you're like, hey, you know what, I'm going to celebrate, like even just hurrah when I write 10 blog posts. The accomplishment of having done that in and of itself is the goal, it's the accomplishment. If instead it's like, hey, my goal in doing this is to replace my full-time income, well, okay, it might be 2 years of hard work to get there.
Okay, before we move on, you guys please like this video. Me and Ricky are very likable guys.
We are.
And so for nothing else, please like the video.
I hope you like us. I like you, so thanks for watching. If I could like you like back, like I could like our watchers, I would like that.
We would do it every time.
I would do it.
Okay, the next thing is the algorithm updates.
Oh man, these are sometimes the worst.
It makes me want to rip my hair out. You know, there's just really nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
Except continue to create really great content. You know, there's a lot of risk that comes with algorithm updates, but the way you create your content can be a lot less risky if you do it. Really, a lot of the way we teach is in a way that we try to make it as with the least amount of risk possible.
There's really only a couple of ways to avoid like getting hit by an algorithm update, and really even just to minimize the risk of that. One is to be such a large entity with so much content and be so authoritative in it that Google's just definitely going to trust you, and that even if a few pieces of content go down, others are probably going to go up, and it's okay. That's really not an option for most of us. So the other way that we do it is by creating the type of content that Google is trying to promote, and that is content that is accurate, that is helpful, that is authoritative, and that does add additional value above and beyond what the other content on the web has for particular search queries. And so if you're creating content for a certain search query, and yours is just the most accurate, most helpful piece of content on the web, then if you're doing that, chances are that most of the time, algorithm updates are going to work out in your favor. It doesn't always happen every time, and certainly not with every blog post. And if your blog is really being driven, like the traffic is mostly coming to 1 or 2 blog posts, that's a huge risk. Because if one of those loses a spot, maybe you just, one of the search queries driving traffic to that, you now lost. That can cause a huge drop on your website. So we do want to create large amounts of content, large amounts of really good content.
We rarely get hit with algorithm updates, but sometimes we see changes on our site that we can, the only thing we can think of is that it might be associated with an update. On one of our sites, a lot of snippets disappeared that we were getting. And it's not that we just lost them to somebody else, but the snippets just disappeared altogether. There's no snippet
at all.
And so little things like that, all that we can keep doing is just keep creating as best content as possible, the most helpful, the most accurate. And in the case of algorithm updates, just hope for the best.
Okay, the next one is monetization, which is really sometimes frustrating because it's actually another waiting game, particularly with ads. You know, you do all the work, you start to get some traffic, you're feeling good about it, and you go and you sign up for like a Zoic or any of the other ad networks, and they put the ads on your site, and you're like, well, shoot. They told me, people said that they're earning like $15, $20, $30 per 1,000 page views, and I'm earning 2. What's wrong? Is my content really bad? Nobody wants to put ads on my site. Maybe I just picked the wrong niche. The reality is when you first put ads on your site, it's not going to earn as much as it will in a little while. So you have to wait yet again. We have to, with a Zoic, they have an AI that is optimizing ad placements on your site. But with any of the platforms, also, as the ads are on your site longer, they're going to open you up to more ad providers that are going to, actual advertisers that are paying more for their ads. Because your site, they have history. It's more trustworthy. It's more, they know how ads are performing. So, boom, you're going to get higher paying ads. You just have to give it more time yet again. That's frustrating.
That is frustrating. And on top of that, not only will it change the longer the ads are there, but as you get more traffic, especially with the Zoic, they're going to have more time to test, or a wider base of people to test with.
True.
So there's so many things there that, again, just makes it frustrating. But if you want something that's a little less frustrating, affiliate could be a good option. Now, you're probably doing some affiliate if you're sitting in this position, but affiliate is nice because you can get some pretty immediate feedback, or feedback that's a lot faster than anything else you could do.
And the more traffic on your site, obviously the quicker the feedback, but with affiliate, there's no waiting game.
Right.
If I put a link in an article, I can tell pretty quickly if that link is converting. So put a link in an article, it's not working. So a couple weeks later, okay, well, I tried a contextual link before. What if this time I try using a plugin that's going to put a really nice big box there with the product image and big buy now button? Maybe I try that. Maybe I try taking this post and tweaking it into where I just make a little bit heavier push for why this product is so good. Or maybe I take posts that aren't affiliate posts at all, and I find a few products that are really helpful that I can conveniently add links to, that just the person's just going to be grateful and want to click my link because I told them what products they need, and that's just convenient.
All of these frustrations we've talked about, they're very real for anyone who's trying to do blogging. But something that we found is, and maybe this is obvious, maybe it's not, but once you actually start seeing some success, whether it be with your traffic or with your monetization, you're probably going to start loving the process a little bit more.
That's true.
And so if you're in kind of the slog, if you're in a phase where you're just not having that much motivation, if you can push through to the point where you're getting some traffic or some monetization, you're probably going to find that it's actually not that bad once you actually see that reward.
It's actually really fun.
It is actually really fun. So we want to ask those of you who are having any sort of success, put it in the comments, how long you've been working and what sort of success you're seeing, so to help motivate everybody else. 40% of us here are struggling with this really hard and could use some motivation.
I think that's absolutely true. So if you're having some success, comment below. If you're not having success, comment below. Tell us what's frustrating to you. Either way, it's going to enter you into our comment contest.
It's a win-win.
I think you're going to want to work with us for a couple of days because, like we said, we're pretty likable guys.
Yep.
So I guess we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.